Hey there everyone, day 5 start here on the mining game. Remember that we don't know how to code. We've never coded before properly until 5 days ago. 5 days ago from now. And I apologize for the snoring cat you're going to hear, but it's just one of those things. So, what do we got? From the last video, I told you that what we would be doing in the background between that video and this video is we're going to look into block generation for additional ore. And so as you can see here, we have these 4 ores: slate, sandstone, gold, copper. Okay, so we got them, and we got this script here, which is nothing. So we could remove that, but we're not going to. So I will surprise you with that in just a moment. But so what have we got? Well, I don't know why I spawned without a head, but there you go. Okay, so what I did was, now none of this is final. Trust me when I say visually this game is going to look a heck of a lot better than this. Okay, but for now, what we have here is we have a setup where the blocks are essentially being generated at random. Okay, and you can sort of see that I've sort of given it a weighted distribution system. So this material here, this kind of stone material, is by far the most common. And the reason why we did it on this generation, which we won't do in the end product, is because this generates 144 blocks, 12 by 12. So this, for instance, this gold is 1%. So it has a fairly high likelihood of appearing every time I generate the thing. And we can sort of work out the percentages even just from looking at this distribution. For instance, like this kind of copper, because it looks like really cool close up. I really like this. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 144, so it's probably about 4%, which is correct. It is 4%. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, 15 for 144, you would believe that to be around 10 to 11, and it is 10. So 10% for this stuff, 4% for this stuff, 1% for this stuff, and the other 85% for this stuff, which I think is a nice little setup. We've still got this base tool. I don't know why, but it feels like every time I'm gonna have to test this, but it feels like every time I generate this first one, it's always this stone. But I think that's just basic percentages and probability throwing things out my way. So you can see this works really well. We got it working. And remember that the only reason that we don't do this properly is because it gets real dark down here. So, but yeah, it works. Okay, so awesome, funky, cool, fantastic. So the question becomes, oh, we got a bug. What happened there? Interesting. Huh. Oh, right, yes. But that's okay. Player will never be on top of the mine like this. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Whoops. Alright, so, what have we got going? Well, let's have a quick look at the script. Now, this is not the final way that this is getting done, but as you can see by the efficiency, it is quite good. The initial efficiency, we don't actually have the number for that, but these numbers are fantastic. So, certainly nothing to complain about there. And if we take a look at our script, you can see that what we have now is a much longer script because of the way we're doing it. Like I said, this isn't going to be the final way we do it. It's just the way we're doing it right now. And basically we've got RNG equals random.new. Random.new, random was introduced in 2017, late 2017. And it superseded math.random. So if you've been watching tutorials and you've been seeing math.random, it's outdated. It's random. Because math.random is crap. It's so very bad. But this random is fantastic, and it works amazingly well. So we just call it, so that way it exists. And then after it exists, what we start doing is we do this, where we go random equals RNG, which is random.new, next integer. Okay, it could be next number, but I like using just integers. It's fine. 0 to 100. So it will generate a number between 0 and 100. Okay. And I guess if we're doing 0 to 100, then technically it's 86% here, but that's fine. If random is equal to or less than 85, then we grab the sandstone and we generate it. Else, if random is above 85 and less than or equal to 95, then generate the slate. If it's above 95, less than or equal to 99, then generate the copper. Else, if random is equal to 100, then generate gold. Now, we could actually just drop this to else. It doesn't even need to be an else if. So, yeah. But the reason why we're not doing any of that thing is because this is not how the final code will look. The final code will just be using more tables for the most part. So it won't look like this. But this works for now. Because yeah, if we weren't to use tables, the script, the code is going to just be immense. It's going to be an immense tangle that's way difficult to read, and it's just not going to be functionally that awesome. Whereas if we are creating tables of awesomeness, then we can do things perfectly fine that way. So yeah, we basically do that exactly the same way, and that's how a script works. Now, if you've been watching this long, firstly, thank you. I really appreciate the words of support that I've been getting from you guys. You know, starting scripting 4 or 5 days ago and just like forcing myself to jump, deep into game dev was the way I figured that would work for me. And I never expected anyone to turn around and be like, thank you for making the videos. They were really supportive. So I'm stunned, and I really appreciate you guys and girls and whatever taking the time out to watch this and make yourselves known. It's really cool. So what do we got here? Whenever I code, one of the things I like to do is whenever I code, he says, like he's been coding forever, I like to first map out what I'm planning on doing in plain text. And this is from my game design days, because basically if I was to talk to a coder, right, and I wanted to explain how my game design was, and then the coder was going to code it up, what I would do is I would sort of break things down into exactly how it would work, and then leave the coder to work it out. Now, we're not doing exactly that here because we're kind of using some sort of coding stuff, but generally speaking, sorry about that cat, by the way. Generally speaking, this is what we're saying. We're going to have a table for various x, y, and z coordinates. For instance, a table for the first 100 Y blocks down. Makes sense? If you played any other mining game, that's pretty much how they do it, right? A table for the first Y blocks down, and then a table for the next group of Y blocks, and so on and so forth. Inside that table is the random generation of ores for that position. Okay? Notice that we're also going to be doing X and Z coordinates. Yeah. So there's actually going to be rewards for going and exploring in different areas. We'll get to that. Spoilers. Inside there, random generation of ores for that position. Some of these ores, and I've put them in quotes, are special ores, which have an additional table. Okay? So let's say we've got 100 ores. Okay? And then that 100th one is just calling, instead of it calling gold, it's calling another table. And that in that table, there's all sorts of other crazy goodies. Okay? You don't need to just stick to one table, which is what most games, from what I've seen in this sort of vein, tend to do. And then we call the table initial table's key value using random.new. I don't know if this is going to be exactly how we do it, but it probably is. There's probably another way of doing it, but this just seems to be the way that I think will work. And here is the special treat for you guys. For instance, if you hit the 0.1% chance on the first table for special ore, you load the additional table, which has things like massively higher value ore, or we check if there is space to generate a dungeon. Yeah. Dungeons will never be generated while the player is mining diamonds on the y-axis. So today, I get to actually be more of a game designer than a game scripter, and I get to go and fiddle with making things look cool. We're still going to have the basic block tool. We're still going to just be destroying blocks. They're not going to have any interesting parameters or anything like that yet. But we're going to start doing some funky stuff. So I'm going to jump on live streaming on Twitch and YouTube now, because apparently I can do that. And we're going to sort of get all this stuff sorted. So that should be pretty cool. Thank you very much for watching to this point. Like, guys, yeah, I know I've said it already, but it's incredibly rewarding for me to hear that what I'm doing is inspirational to other people. Like, that was not my intent when I set out to do this, but I am definitely happy that it's been doing it. So yeah, we're gonna do some fun stuff and get some stuff sorted. I'm also gonna there's a game that I've been playing called the Quarry. Thank you, Amanda from Scripter CF, for showing it to me, which actually does the block destruction sort of visually in the way that I want it to. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.